What's up, guys? It's Pat, and today we're going to be discussing something that's came up in a handful of comments and something that I find to be really important, and that is creating relationships with physicians. So in regards to applying to medical school, I think as a nurse, you have a really unique opportunity to stand out because we have worked with physicians hand in hand on the healthcare team together, where even though we have different jobs, our roles are as important because without each other, we'd be nothing. The team would suffer, the patient would suffer. So physicians have seen us in clinical hospital setting. They've seen us in times of stress, in times of challenge. And I think that it's a very awesome opportunity for us to stand out, like I said. So as I reflected back on how I was able to create relationships with physicians, the thing that stood out to me the most, and I think that it's the most important thing, is to be great at your job as a nurse. Like I said, we're all on the same team. Without each other, we are nothing. So be in your role at the highest level that you can be. Be the best nurse that you can be. That is how you stand out. That is how you make a great first impression. So once you're able to get that down, it took me about a year to get to a place where I felt like I was a great nurse, and of course, working to be better every single day. But if you're anything like me and you're watching these videos, you very well may be, I had a genuine and sincere curiosity. I just, not that I even wanted to know more, I needed to know more. Right? The knowledge that I had was not good enough. It didn't put all the pieces together. So I showed that in a sincere way, in a genuine way. And that was in rounds. Where I was at, rounds can be 45 minutes to an hour for complex patients. And I would be attentive. I was inquisitive in rounds. I was focused. And that wasn't anything forced. That was just genuinely how I was because I was so interested in what was happening. And then once you start to get on top of your game a little bit, you can even start to bring questions. You can bring suggestions even, coming from a place of humility that you do not know as much as anyone else in the people that are around it. But coming with sincere questions, suggestions, I think that's great. And then again, like I said, being a great nurse, awesome. The next thing that I did, and I think it's a really important process to this, is building up confidence and going to speak with physicians one-on-one. Somebody that you feel like you've built a good rapport with. Go to them and ask them about medicine. Ask them why they did whatever they did with the patient or what their line of thinking was. And again, if you come from this true, sincere place, that is going to show. You have to come from a place that says, I don't know that much, but man, I really want to know more. And that is going to come through, and they're going to be able to see that. So to me, that's a great next step in continuing to build this relationship. Now, once you've done a couple of those things and you feel like you're in a really good place, on good terms with one of the physicians, then they know you, and the next thing you should do is let them know that you're interested in being a physician. Let them know you're interested in going to medical school. And when I did that, I was very lucky because in my experience, I got nothing but massive amounts of support. People were so happy and so excited that that's what I wanted to do. It was not discouraged by anybody. And again, this may be my experience, but I think that it would be very similar for all you guys across the board. I was really lucky because I feel like I made a bunch of these great relationships. So when it came time for applications, I was able to ask two very successful and known doctors to write me letters of recommendation. And they were nothing but so excited to do it for me. And this is not to brag or anything like that, but once a couple other physicians started to find out what I wanted to do, I mean, it was 3 or 4 that came up to me saying, if you do need a letter of recommendation, like, I can write you that. And I think it just goes to show, at least where I was, that the physicians were so supportive and so truly wanted me to be successful. And they said it then, and I am still in touch with people to this day, but they have my back, and I know that if I ever needed anything from a lot of them, they would do everything they could to help me out. So again, this is not only something that's gonna look good on your application, right? This is creating relationships that are gonna last you through your career. This is creating friendships that are gonna last you through your career and through your life. Because that's what this is all about, right? This is us working together. Medicine is really a family. And I have been nothing but impressed or happy to say that I've been able to make these great relationships. And I hope that you guys are able to as well with a couple of the tips that I'll talk to you about today. If you have any questions or any thoughts on ways that you guys have made what you consider to be good relationships with physicians that somebody else you think could hear, just throw it in the comments and I'll get back to you and other people can see it. And that's why we're here, right? We're all here to get better, to work towards our goals and to help each other get there. Okay, so until next time, peace and love.